Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey, and today this is the necklace that I will be making. Most of the components came from Sam's bead box for the month of October 2022, and I am super happy with how it came out. I just absolutely love those emerald colored beads. So if you would like to see how this necklace came about, then stay tuned. All right, let's get right into it. I'm going to start with the tools that I will be using. I have 2 sets of chain nose pliers. I have 1 set of round nose pliers. I have 1 set of cutters. And I have 1 set of crimping pliers. I want to briefly mention my tool set. I mention it in just about every video. I absolutely love and highly recommend this tool set. It is called the Casual Comfort Tool Set. And as the name suggests, these are the most comfortable tools in my opinion. They are very high quality, very well made. They feel very sturdy. And one of the biggest things for me is that they have adult size grips. For whatever reason, a lot of times in the stores, they have tools that are just a little bit smaller. And I know these function, and a lot of people do like them. But for me, when I found this set, the Casual Comfort Tool Set, I just can't use anything else. These are, in my opinion, just amazing tools. So I will have these linked down below along with everything else in the video that I use that didn't come from the bead box. But even if you don't get these tools, I just recommend investing in your tools. If you make jewelry a lot like I do, to me, it's just worth the investment. I am also going to be using 49 strand bead along wire in the color Bright, which is this silver color. And I know you could probably look down here and see that my findings are in the gold finish, but you will see that once everything is said and done, you will hardly be able to notice the wire at all. And I always get it in the 100 feet because I just go through it so quickly. Now, I will link my opening video for Sam's bead box for the month of October 2022, and I go into a much more detailed description of each one of these beads that I'm going to be using. So yes, I will have that linked below, but the center focus bead, I will say the pendant that is going to be where the point of my necklace comes to is going to be this beautiful pendant bead. I just absolutely love the design on this bead. I think it looks very, very pretty. And for my own stash, I will be adding these 4mm green bicones. The one thing I will shout out other than that pendant bead are these cross corner emerald color cube beads. And as I mentioned in the opening video, again, that'll be linked below. As I mentioned in the opening video, I just absolutely love these, love this color, and I don't think I could let this month's box go by without using these emerald cube beads. Like I said, in my wedding ring, instead of having the diamond center bead, I have an emerald. So I am particularly fond of the emerald colored stones. I just think it's really, really pretty. And then, of course, for my own stash as well, I will be using all of the findings, the crimp tubes, wire guardians, crimp covers, jump rings, and then, of course, I have a couple pins, eye pins, head pins. All of this is from my own stash. And then the chain, which I've already cut off the specific lengths that I need. I will have this chain linked below. I think this chain is absolutely beautiful. You can see it here. And when I originally purchased this chain, it is listed as rose gold, and that's what I was actually going for. And when I received it, I was kind of disappointed because it's not rose gold. It is very much a gold finish. And, you know, like I said, I was disappointed when I opened it, but it has become a gold chain that I really, really enjoy. So I do like the chain and I love the gold finish. now that I have the rose gold finish chain that I was going for, I will have this chain also linked down below. And like I said, it is listed as rose gold, but it is definitely not. It is a gold finish, but it is very, very beautiful. I love this chain. And you get a pretty significant amount of it. All right, so I have already cut a piece of wire right at about 12, just a little bit over 12 inches, and that's probably a little bit too much, but I wanted to have a little bit of excess to, of course, close it off on either end, but also to be able to show up on camera what I'm specifically doing. So here is how I start off each strand. Put on a crimp tube, a jump ring, and a wire guardian. I'm going to put it through one end, and then wrap it around, put it through the other, and pull it up. And you want to make sure your jump ring goes up in the wire guardian, and then both ends of your wire go inside that crimp tube. I'm going to pinch that wire guardian closed with my fingers, and then pull on that longer one so the tail isn't quite so long. And I know the pieces are kind of small, but I want you to be able to see I am going to separate these wires so that they are not crossed underneath that crimp tube. Then I'm going to pull on the long end so that it's nice and snug. I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot and give it a good smash. And that gives it that taco shape. I'm going to turn it on its side, go into that first divot, close it, give it another smash. And that gets it pretty good, but I like to go in with that flat part on the end and give it a final smash. And that makes it nice and snug. Then I'm going to hold on to that jump ring, go in with a crimp cover. Sometimes I find it easier to kind of put the crimp cover down a little bit and then just kind of slide it over it like that. And then flip it up. And then I'm going to go in with my chain nose pliers and give it a gentle smash. And then I go front to back. And that gives it that round shape. But you got to have a gentle hand with these crimp covers. It doesn't take much to just kind of smash it, and you definitely don't want to do that. And there you have it. That is how we begin each strand. And then of course that crimp cover gives the illusion of the first bead. So now it's just the order of the beads. So here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to start with one of my 4mm bicones, 6mm gold round, diagonal cube bead, 6mm gold round, and then another bicone. So now I'm going to go all the way down and make sure that tail is tucked up in the bead, and that is one part of the pattern. So on this first one, I'm going to have the larger clear bead. It's got that gold and the grooves. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to have it where it's going in this direction on the wire. So here we have so far, and I'm going to do this pattern again on the other side. The same pattern. So here we have it now. And now I'm going to have one of these kind of sun star looking beads. All right. Now to finish it off, we're going to have this section right here 2 more times. So this exact pattern right here 2 more times, and then we'll meet back up. All right. So here is the final piece of the strand. I love the green and gold. I think that looks really, really pretty. So now we will close it off. We use a crimp tube, a jump ring, and a wire guardian. Put it through one side, wrap it around, put it through the other. Then you make sure your jump ring is up inside the wire guardian and that both ends of the wire go through that crimp tube. And I'm going to pinch that wire guardian closed with my fingers. And then I'm going to put that tail through the first couple of beads. Now you want to pull it kind of snug, but here's where you have to have that balance because you definitely need that flexibility in there. So you want to make sure the strand has movement, but you also don't want it to be super loose. So now I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers and go into that second divot, give it a good smash, get that taco shape, put it on its side, go into the first divot, give it another smash, and again that gets it pretty good, but I like to go in with that flat part on the end and give it the final smash, and that gets it really snug. But of course the strand still has flexibility. All right, so now I'm going to hang on to that jump ring, take that crimp cover and put it right on top of that smashed crimp tube. And then I'm going to flip it up, go in with my chain nose pliers and give it a gentle smash. Then I'm going to go front to back, give it that round shape. And there you go. That end gives that illusion of a bead. And I'm going to go in with my cutters on that tail, get as close as I can, and then go in and then tuck that tail into the next bead, just like that. So here is one side of the strand. Now where this is going to come together at this larger bead here, it's going to be like this on one side, and then there's going to be one on the other. So what we need to do now is create a second one just like this. So if you need to, you can go back in the video and then just duplicate this process. So we need one more just like this and we'll meet back up. All right, so here we go. Now, the way that the necklace is going to come together is going to be through a pin. So we're going to take this bead and take an eye pin, put it through, and then we're going to create an opposite loop at the top. So here's how I create a loop. When I have eye pins, I try to get the loops facing the same direction. So I'm going to place this on my finger, going up and down just like this. Hold the bead in place, go just above the bead with my round nose pliers, and then bend it. Bend it back with my fingers, then go in with my cutters. And then I'm going to go in and close that loop, just like that. So before I connect this to either side of the strands, I want to create the fringe that's going to hang off of it. I have like an idea of some fringe, so let me show you how I do that. So I have another eye pin, and I'm using the also emerald color rectangular beads. So I'm going to put that through with the eye pin, and I'm going to create a loop the same way. Bend it and bend it back with my fingers. Go in with my cutters. And for this one, before I close that loop, I'm going to go ahead and put it on that smaller length of chain. Just like that. So on this chain, these smaller lengths are going to be 7 links of this chain. So once I put that on there, I'm going to close that loop. I'm going to go back in there with my round nose pliers and close the loop. So now this is what it looks like. So I'm going to take a ball pin, put it through the diagonal cut cube. And this one, it doesn't matter which way the loop is facing because it doesn't have a loop on the other end. So I'm going to create a loop, bend it back with my fingers, go in with my cutters, and then I'm going to connect it straight to the bottom of the one that I just created. Then I'm going to go in with my round nose pliers and close that loop, just like that. So here is my one piece of fringe, and I'm going to connect it to the bottom of the round bead with the design on it. So I want to create 2 more just like this, the same way, and we'll meet back up. All right, so there we have it. I'm going to take one of my jump rings, open it, and I'm going to connect the opposite end on every one of these fringe pieces. And then I'm going to connect it to this as well. Just like that. Then I'm going to close that jump ring. So here is my fringe. And now I'm going to connect both of these jump rings to the opposite end of the loop. Connect it to the top, close that jump ring, and I'm going to go ahead and take the jump ring off of this one, and I think it will look better with them both connected to the same jump ring. So here we go. I'm going to connect that end of the strand. You want to make sure you have the end with these clear gold beads here, and then close that jump ring. So here's what we have so far. So now we just need to do the ends. So I'm going to go on the opposite end, open that jump ring, add that 1.5 inches of chain, just like that, close it, take another jump ring, put it on there just like that, and then I'm going to add my lobster clasp, just like that. And the other side, I'm going to add the chain the same way, just like that. Take another jump ring and open it, and I'm going to add it to the opposite side of that chain, and then close it. So now I'm going to close that clasp on the back, and there is the final piece. So now I'm going to set this up on my display so that we can see it better. All right, so here it is. Here is the final product, and I am very happy with it. I just love the way it turned out. I'm going to go zoom right on into the fringe. I love these cube beads. I love that emerald color. And I think that fringe just kind of adds to it. I think that is so pretty. And I love the gold in the grooves of these beads here. Just very, very beautiful. I am very happy with the way this came out. So if you like this video and you want to see other videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so, so kind, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.